Good song. Thank you, Sir Michael. That was fun. That was a good toe tapper. Get the spirit moving this morning. Yeah, yeah. I felt it too. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. All right. Well, let me be quiet for a moment. Is there anything on anyone's heart or mind that they've been stewing on, contemplating, wrestling through, just glory, living in glory with, whatever, that they would like to share out loud today as we focus on communion, focus on some Jesus and his humongous sacrifice? I see Joe's typing. Oh, Hibby, goodest of mornings to you, sir. Well, I think it's not fair usually because I'm sitting here reading in this all the time. I could just talk all the time. I try not to. I will say I found myself, he doesn't have a shirt on. Okay, listen, thanks for keeping it G-rated, sir. We don't want to be distracted with um can he hear us? No, is he in your ears?
No, he's upstairs now. He was just walking by and was like, "Someone, hi." He's upstairs already.
Um
How cute. So
that
it's the little man now, huh? Yeah.
little man. Um I I've had probably more thoughts than anybody wants to hear, in all types of realms. Joe has had the good fortune of, I need to say this out loud to somebody. So that's what Voxer is. I just need to say this out loud because then it'll move me to the next thing. So there's been a lot of thoughts that I've had, but one of them that I did find resurfacing was what you talked about last week, Jones, about not just that, like when I find that often I can be in the, well, okay, so God's got him. I know God's got him. He's going to walk through them with this or whatever. But like really leaning into the idea of he's with them all the time in the sweets and the sours and with them in the, like, he's using every moment to help them find him and grow. Just like we keep reading about in Revelation, he's using every moment just like he did with me, that nothing's wasted. Nothing's like, oh my gosh, hopeless. They're never going to find their way. They're never going to make it, which I don't feel that intensity all the time, but I don't know. There was just something in the way that you framed it that I find it's replaying in my mind a lot. Actually, I will share one fun thing, just the small thing. Sometimes they're like super intense and sometimes they're just little small some things that I'm like, I see you, God, I see you. When Peyton was in school before, like after COVID, we did homeschooling and he had to check in once a week and he was late all the time. And I was furious as I'm trying to work or I'm at my own doctor's appointment, furious. Sometimes I was like, furious. Okay. And because no matter what I said, the prep work, the front end, the day before, the whatever, the write it down, nothing was working. And I felt unloved, I felt uncared for, unprotected, and now I have to face shame to be late to my thing. Like I didn't feel protected. So anyway, he started working, he's been working for 2 years. And I try not to because it's terrifying to look on Life 360. Sometimes he's running late. And did you know that Life 360, the cars are like one color, but if they're going over a certain speed limit, it's red, it's orange. And then if they're going over a certain speed limit, it's red. Did you know that there's red with fire? Did you know there's a level above that, which I can't even think of because I try not to notice. So I know in the back of my mind, if he's leaving at a certain time, it's his race car. I think there's one with a jet or like a rocket. There's one above race car. So I try not to pay any mind, right? Because what am I going to do? He's already doing it. He's in the car. I sure as heck can't call him and say, you better slow your butt down, right? What am I going to do? So I will say, I just don't pay any mind. And I'm just like, God, you've got him. I know you do. There's nothing I can do that's going to make a difference, right? Nothing. I've tried, gentle words here and there. Nothing. I know that he has to feel it and he'll figure it out. Even he's got a CDL, like, don't do the CDL. You can't be getting speeding tickets when you have a CDL. You can't. So anyway, he comes home this week. He got there like either on time or 1 minute late, which I can see that he does pretty frequently, but to him, that's on time. And he walked in and he told me an experience that was kind of challenging and had him rattled to start his day, and he didn't like that. He didn't like it. It didn't feel good. He felt sort of embarrassed. He felt sort of ashamed, whatever. And he said, I noticed that I need to be there like 10 minutes early just to give myself time to do this, do this, do this. We're military. 10 minutes is like basic. You have to be there 10 minutes early. That's basic. And you can tell if I just got messed up or just didn't care. I got sloppy because usually I'm 10 minutes or more early. And so sure enough, self-correcting behavior. So God uses all the moments, but I noticed specifically it happened to be a huge moment of discomfort, and not just he's had moments of discomfort, but this was like a more significant one. And so how God allows the discomfort to be a teacher, which is what we're all about in Revelation. I was so afraid of this book, but it's been quite fun to dig and dig and dig and see how it connects. It's very Old Testament rich. And that's what I keep seeing is the pain, the suffering, the discomfort, even the more intense levels. Like, we'd like to catch it before it gets too intense, right? But then where is our faith? Where is our trust? Because God uses the growing intensity of discomfort as an amazing teacher. And it's better than any words you can express. It's better than any message that we have to share with someone. It's God's power working where we didn't even expect to see it. So I didn't mean to share so long, but I will say that's I saw God in that so heavy. I see every moment. I'm like, okay, I got you. I know you got this. I know you'll figure it out. Ooh, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. You better start listening. I have all that. And then there was absolute evidence this week. And I just giggled. Hey, good job. I didn't say, see, I told you. See, I tried to warn you. See, none of that. It's just, all right, good job. So what happened? Ooh, it kind of hurt, huh? Ooh, man, that's not fun. Just kind of listening. But then letting him come to his own moment and face these uncomfortable moments and the danger of maybe losing his commercial license that 19-year-olds don't have very often. So that was kind of fun, and we'll see if it actually starts happening, but that was fun. So anyway, I will say that. Is there anything more anyone wanted to say?
Sometimes when you get put on the spot by somebody other than your parents, it just means a little bit more. It's even though it's people maybe his own age or his own peers, but when it's like an employer or whatever, I know like Ariel, she was late. She'd be running to the car with her t-shirt. And I would think, oh my gosh, all the neighbors can see you with your, and she'd be running and she'd be putting on her makeup as I'm driving her to Valencia. And now she does echocardiograms, and she has to be at work at 6:30. And she might have 10 alarms, but she's at work at 6:30. Otherwise, they're going to ride her. To see her do that and stuff is like, oh, it's so amazing. She's on call sometimes because she has to go in the middle of the night, and she goes and sleeps at a friend's house who's closer to work because she's in Irvine and she works Whittier.
Oh,
And so that's like an hour away. If she's on call, it's too far to go there. But
yeah.
even like Marky, all the trouble I went through with him in high school and everything, when I went to stay with him, his apartment's immaculate. Everything is in place. You would think you would think he's having a party all the time. And he goes, I don't understand why it's so hard not to keep things in place. When he goes to his sister's houses and their houses aren't as orderly as his. And I said, well, you weren't like this when you lived at home. You were never like this when you lived at home. But now everything is like, if you use it, put it away. Even his cabinets, his stuff, he does meal prep and he'll send me pictures of what he has planned. And they're like nice stuff. It's like he's doing Mediterranean this week and he's doing Asian the next week, and he does meal prep. So when he comes home, and it's like, oh, who is this kid? but
Amazing.
yeah, it's amazing when that when they're under, well, he's military, so he does that because of that, but it's just amazing to see them. Like, I'm sure when you see Amanda's little apartment, so cute and orderly. So anyway,
Okay. That is awesome, Judy. I love hearing it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just as proof that God wastes nothing at all. Truly nothing at all. And how he's like helping people grow in the way they need to grow, in the ways they need to hear the message, and then adjust, not in the ways we think they do, which can be such, I think that's really challenging for us, because it really calls us to check our own heart. So actually I was on a podcast earlier in the week for the Institute, and he often wanted to ask me, like, well, what does it look like, since we're both trained, what does it look like in your home? Well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And the entire time I kept coming back to, and then finally to the end, I didn't mean to, but it was just the truth of his question. It constantly comes back to me, my heart. Like, that was so much of what I had to do these last 4 or 5 years, is keep adjusting my expectations, keep doing more work, keep doing more grief work, because I'm creating my own grief when I have an expectations here, but he can't meet it. But I insist on holding my expectation there. I'm creating my own discomfort and my own grief. So that was my huge thing about marriage and children, that he kept asking in the interview was, well, what does it look like this? What about this? It's me. It's me. They didn't suddenly just like, Rachelle's grief recovery specialist extraordinaire, so we should change our life. No, I had to keep changing mine, and I have to keep changing my expectations, whatever. So that is the same kind of thing here. I noticed the same thing when God's working with them and it hurts us, that then is our responsibility to go back and work and adjust the bitterness, the frustrations, the anxieties that are growing in our own heart, to keep it cleaned out in a biblical way, the best that we can. That's how I found that applicable. And I love that you all know it. It's not just me. Man, this is hard. Are they going to figure it out? Oh, they do. They do. Amazing. So God's incredible. Incredible. I probably can go on forever, but we should probably jump into Revelation 11. Thank you for being here and having anything to share. Jones, would you please pray for us as we go into communion? And we'll play the second song.
God, thank you for this morning. Thank you for Michelle's heart, Sharon, and all the moms here, and their special ways of helping us to be our best self, but also adjusting their expectations when we fall short of being those expected things done. But I know that you're working in all of our hearts, and we just love you for that, for your patience, for your unconditional love despite our flaws, and what expectations you have of us. We always fall short. But thank you for every day, the new day that you give us. Thank you for waking us all up this morning. Just something that's so easy to take for granted. And every day is a gift here with our loved ones, and even the gift that we'll have with you one day in eternity. It's so priceless just to have this wonderful time and experience on earth, the highs, the lows, the good, bads, the uglies, that help us to grow and build character and have wisdom. And God, it's a journey, and I'm thankful to be on that journey with everybody here. Thankful for just our jobs and our homes and our running water and all of these things that they're always here. And it's very, very nice to know that we have the opportunity to live in safety and freedom. And today, God, we just pray for the leaders of our country and for all of the stuff going on in the next few months with the elections. And I pray that you settle the grief in people's hearts on one party or another party and all the division. God, help us to focus on peace and love, understanding, and to be just little seeds of more like you, love. And God, we love you so much.
Amen. Thank you. Would you please close that door, because I think the